What if I told you that the difference between closing at 30% versus 87% has nothing to do with your offer, your leads, or your closing experience? It's all about mastering a specific set of sleight of mouth patterns that completely transform the way that you communicate with prospects, and especially how you handle money objections. What's going on, guys? My name is Johnny, and in the past 2 years, I've went from making $5 an hour as a barback to making over $50,000 a month in high ticket sales, along with leading teams that are collecting well over $1 million a month. Now, the biggest breakthrough that I've had in my high ticket sales career is when I discovered sleight of mouth patterns, a set of very specific language patterns that we can use to break prospects' limiting beliefs and allow them to see things from a different perspective. These are not just little gimmicky word tracks that you'll hear on every other YouTube video, but instead these are actual powerful psychological techniques taught in therapy, taught by NLP experts, Tony Robbins, these massive guys that have sold millions and millions of dollars, even hundreds of millions. And today I'm going to be breaking down the exact sleight of mouth patterns that I use to handle money objections at an 87% close rate. Not only that, but I've collected millions and millions of dollars using these techniques, with the very best part being you can implement these in your literal next call. Now, here's the reality about money objections that sales trainers will just never tell you. When someone says, I don't have the money, I might not see the value in it being at this price, or it might be too expensive, they're not really talking about the money at all. What they're really telling you is, I don't believe that this is gonna work for me, and I'm afraid that I might not be able to get the job done. The problem is that most closers are gonna take these objections at face value and start undercutting the price, giving deals, giving fast action discounts. You and I both know all that's gonna do is it's gonna lower your commissions and just ultimately make you extremely frustrated. But elite closers understand something extremely crucial, and is that money objections are always rooted in a deeper fear. Like, if you really thought about it, have you ever really wanted something? Like, you knew deep down that you really wanted it. I'm sure you went and found a way to get it, whether it be going and looking under your mattress for cash or going to the bank and getting money, whatever it may be. Chances are your strong desire pushed you towards going and getting that outcome. You sold something, you borrowed it, whatever you did, you got the job done. The same is true for your prospects. If they truly believe that you would help them make more money, or whatever the offer may be, they're gonna buy your product. If they truly believe that you would get the job done with them, they would not say they don't have the money. Instead, they would go and find the money to make sure that it could happen. And that's exactly where the sleight of mouth pattern comes in, because they allow you to elegantly reframe the way that your prospects are viewing this investment in their mind to put them into a buying state and into a resourceful state rather than a resourceless state. And before I break down the actual word tracks here, you need to understand, why is sleight of mouth so powerful? Every objection is based on a cause and an effect in your prospect's mind, all right? Now, when they're saying, I don't have the money, what they're really saying is, I don't have the money, so that means I can't invest into myself. Sleight of mouth patterns are gonna allow you to break this connection and start getting them to replace the words after so. And it's gonna be a pattern of words that serves you and the prospect way better in the long run. There are 14 different sleight of mouth patterns that I use in total, but for the sake of this process, I'm only gonna focus on the 5 most powerful ones so you can implement them on your directly next sales call. Now, these 5 happen to be perfect for handling money objections as well, so listen up and let's give you some sauce. Step number 1 is going to be reality strategy. So what this is having them question that their own belief is true. Number 2 is going to be consequence, so we're shifting the focus to the consequence of what they believe. Number 3 is redefining, so redefining the meaning of their words. Number 4 is hierarchy of criteria, so applying to higher values. Number 5 is intent, which is reestablishing their intent towards getting the job done and not being in a resourceless state. And when you master these 5 patterns, you'll be able to virtually flow through every single money objection that a prospect gives you for now on. The best part is, you're not manipulating anyone. You're not being pushy. All you're doing is getting them to take the frame of the world that they see everything in, taking it off and replacing yours with it. You're getting them to see things from a different perspective that allows for a better decision, not clouded by emotion, not clouded by judgment. Now, let's break down each pattern that you can use in your very next sales call. Now, number 1, the reality strategy. So the reality strategy is there to make the person question whether their belief is true. All right, so the meaning of their words are gonna come after the term so. When someone says, I don't have the money, you're gonna question what the connection means, because chances are in their brain, when they say, I don't have the money, that means so they can't do anything today. When we need to reframe that belief to, I don't have the money, so I'm going to get resourceful today and go and find the money. So here's exactly how to use it. What we're gonna say is, how do you know not having money means you can't make a change today? Get resourceful so you can do whatever it takes to get you and your family where you wanna go. This question is gonna challenge their assumption that them not having money means that they can't do anything. It forces them to examine their belief system rather than just accepting it as fact. So let me just show you guys how this plays out in a real conversation.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just don't have the money, I can't pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense on the surface. I guess, like, have you ever been in a position where you couldn't really do something, but you still found a way to make it happen because you knew how important it was to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, like one time my car broke down on the side of the road and I needed to be able to get it fixed, and it happened.
Exactly, because that's what's truly important to us, is getting where we want to go. So the real question isn't whether you have the money now, it's whether you getting to the point where you're making $10,000 a month and you're providing for your family at the level you want to. It's whether that's important enough for you to actually find a way, just like you did with your car that one time. Do you see how powerful that is? We're not telling them that they're wrong. We're not being pushy. We're helping them to question their limiting beliefs by relating it to past experiences. And those past experiences are when they overcame the exact same limiting belief they have now. Pattern number 2 is going to be consequence. So the consequence pattern is going to shift their belief over to what will happen if nothing changes. This is incredibly powerful for money objections because it helps them understand that nothing changes if nothing changes. If they continue to allow money to prevent them from, let's say, learning the skills to trade better so they can make more money, what's the probable, almost indefinite outcome for them? This question forces them to confront what the reality looks like on the other side of them not taking an action, which is usually going to be far more expensive than whatever they're going to be paying you. So here's exactly how that one would play out.
Yeah, I just don't have the money right now.
I understand that, and I appreciate you being super upfront about it. Now, can I ask you one thing? Let's say we're continuing on with the reality strategy. At this point, we would want to hit them with the consequence, which is going to be, yeah, I understand, and I appreciate you being so upfront with me about it. Now, the thing about it that we got to realize is, like, what happens if in another 6, 12 months you continue to allow the effect of the problem, the consequence of the problem, change the way you decide on how to act to the cause? What do you see happening then?
I guess I'll still be struggling with the same issues.
And what would that mean for you?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't get to where I want to go.
Yeah, and like, let's not even be selfish here. What does that mean for the people around you that you want to provide for?
Well, yeah, then that means I can't provide for them at the level I want to.
So again, this pattern helps them recognize the real cost of not doing anything, especially when we start relating it to other people. People don't make a change because they want to. People make a change because other people's perceptions of their actions. Pattern number 3 is going to be redefine. The redefine pattern creates a brand new meaning to change their perspective around this. So when someone says, I don't have the money, all you do is redefine what that means for them. Someone tells us they don't have the money, we say, oh, it's not that you don't have the money, it's that you haven't found a way to create enough value in the marketplace so that people will give you money. This reframes their statement from a fixed reality, which is I don't have the money, to a skill issue that can be solved by them making a buying decision, which is I haven't learned how to create value, so I need to go and learn the skill. So let's say the prospect tells us again, I do not have the money. What we want to respond is, yeah, dude, I totally understand. Like that's very normal when people come to us. But what if I told you that it didn't have as much to do with you not having the money, but more so you not having the right skills to create value in the marketplace so people will give you money? Like, can you see things from that perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true in a way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about solving here. The issue isn't the fact that you don't have the money right now, so you don't have the skills to go out there and create more money. This one is extremely powerful because it's redefining their objection as the exact reason why they need to do it. And if you notice, all of these things are question-based. We're never just telling them something. Because when you tell someone something, you're not selling. You're just telling them it goes in one ear, out the other. Pattern number 4 is going to be hierarchy of criteria. What this does is it appeals to higher values instead of what they're perceiving right now. So here's how to use that one. What we want to do to them is say, isn't it more important to take calculated risks now to make sure that we actually have success in the future, rather than just giving into our limitations? This question is going to help them prioritize long-term success over short-term gain, which is the short-term gain is not even going to be gain. It's going to be a feeling of, oh yeah, I held on to my money. So this fully played out is, let's say the prospect told you,
I just don't have the money right now, I can't do it.
Yeah, I understand that. I respect your financial situation, don't get me wrong. But let me ask you, isn't it more important to take a calculated risk that's going to move your financial goals forward rather than relying on what you've been doing for the past 2 years that's gotten you to right here, right now, which is not where you want to be?
Well, yeah, but I still need to be responsible with money.
Absolutely, and being responsible means investing in things that are going to get you a return, not just saving and hoarding your money, right? Now, the most successful people in your industry, they didn't wait until they had the money, right? Let's take the people that are in New York that own these huge buildings. Are they going and putting cash down for all of these? Absolutely not. No, they're going and doing borrowing. They're going and using funding sources. They're using OPM, all these different types of things, because to them, they understand that it's more important to take a calculated risk so that they eventually do have the money. Now, they invested in themselves when it wasn't comfortable because they understood that the only way to get where they want to go is to make decisions out of uncertainty, because isn't creating your future for you and your family the most important thing in this scenario? Now, what this pattern does is it breaks everything I just told you and helps them see the hierarchy of criteria, which is the highest values possible: success, family, independence, all that type of stuff. Now, pattern number 5 is going to be all about intent. Now, the intent pattern breaks the objection and focuses on the intent behind it. When someone says, I don't have the money, you recognize the positive intention behind it to put them in a better spot to buy. So let's just play it out. Let's say someone says,
I don't have the money.
Yeah, I understand that. I could see your intention here is to do everything you possibly can to make sure that you put your family in the best possible position. Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and just to like go further on that, I can imagine your intention here is to make sure that your family never has to struggle with money again, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
So what we got to ask ourselves is, which scenario better serves that intention? Continuing as you are now, continuing with a lack of skills that are providing you almost zero money, continue relying on the job that you hate and barely gets you to see them, or investing into yourself so you can break the cycle once and for all. You could look back a year from now when you're not in the same position. This pattern is going to honor their intention and their underlying belief, which gets them to see things from a different perspective perspective. Now, when you first try these patterns, they're gonna sound a bit mechanical, I'm not gonna lie. These are very, very difficult things to pull off, but that's exactly why I closed at the percentage that I did, and every single person on my team uses this exact same style and closes way, way more. And remember here, the goal isn't to win the argument with the prospect, it's to take their frame of the world off, put on yours that enables them to make a buying decision faster. So if you found this valuable, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, helps me out quite a bit. I drop new videos every single week with techniques that no other sales trainers actually know. So in the comments below, let me know which sleight mouth pattern that you're gonna use on your next call, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Now, if you're serious about mastering these objections and handling them once and for all and getting the top 1% high ticket sales, go to the link in the description. There's an application below to join my advanced sales training with stuff that I will never share on YouTube in a million years. Link in the description if you wanna check it out. Y'all have a blessed one.